this. Then, of course, like with any attack, the question is this a one-off? Is this just this one person? Or is this just one aspect of a larger coordinated operation? Are they going to be looking at doing attacks in other cities? And will these attacks look the same, or will they be?
Dave Kinchin here, about to hop into the legendary Weather Beast, looking for those troubled spots on the road the day before Thanksgiving. We'll tell you about it next.
A gripping case out of northern Michigan. A young mother about to give birth disappears for weeks. I'm Jessica Dupnack, and we'll explore the latest pieces of this puzzle.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 10 starts now.
Winter storms making their way across the state, causing wild waves on Lake Michigan. This video from Grand Haven showing waves between 15 to 20 feet. Good evening, everybody. I'm Roop Raj. With me, Weather Authority Rich Luderman. That is just the beginning of the indication of the big winds of change coming through.
That's right. Yesterday at this time, we were near 50 degrees. Yeah. Now we have wind chills near 20 degrees. Let me show you. Some snow showers continue to cross lower Michigan, but the heavier snow showers are on the other side of the state near Lake Michigan and those lake effect snow areas. But we are getting some flurries coming into Metro Detroit. You can see on Sky Tracker some very light snow showers coming through Livingston and Oakland counties. A couple of flurries down around Monroe. But look at the cold. 34 for us, 31s for Lansing and Grand Rapids. And even though the snow is going to be very light, some spots are going to get below 32, and that may lead to some slick spots overnight. Here's a live picture from Southfield, and you can see just a couple of flurries out there. That's 9 Mile Road. Wind advisory continues through 4 a.m. We could still see some gusts up near 45. Look at these wind chill values. A lot of us are near 20. For the rest of tonight, we're down to 30. But colder wind chills for sure, and it's going to be brisk and cold tomorrow. A couple of more flurries for Thanksgiving. No warm up on Friday, Roop. A full check of the 7-day in 20.
All right, go Lions as well on Thursday. Good stuff. Well, the weather playing a major role in those hitting the road before Thanksgiving, but high winds and snow showers are creating some nervous moments for drivers. Let's get live to Fox News' Dave Kinchin. He's in the Weather Beast with a look at the roads, and if you're nervous in the Weather Beast, people in regular cars, they're dealing with something coming up.
Nothing to fear here in the Weather Beast, but yeah, depending on what you're driving, you may need to be a bit concerned out there. We can certainly tell you that, by the way, we're on I-75 in Detroit near downtown, and what we'll do is go to video that we shot earlier, and there's salt trucks out there treating the roads and grinding the roads, making sure that everything is passable should there be ice situations, and we talk about blackout Wednesday. How about black ice overnight Wednesday into Thursday? That is a real possibility in some spots, especially with snow expected in some form over the next couple of days, maybe an inch or so, depending on where you are. But it's the high winds, as Rich was talking about, making it a challenge to keep that wheel straight, as many either head out to catch that late flight for Thanksgiving or make that last round of purchases if you can find a store that's open for the big holiday dinner. Drivers we spoke with say they will be keeping an eye on Mother Nature all weekend. Nervous about these conditions deteriorating as an Uber driver?
Yeah, that's one of my concerns as an Uber. Yeah, I'm worried about that. That's always my concerns, yeah.
What do you do? How do you handle that?
I just, if it gets too bad, I just pull over, take a break, wait till it gets bad, I've been doing it a couple of years. It's never been too bad, and they salt the roads on time.
Hopefully it's good. I think most of it's coming in Saturday, so hopefully tomorrow is pretty good. Friday should be hopefully good as well, and yeah, just gas up, because you never know in Michigan, so.
Yeah, people going to the parade tomorrow, America's Thanksgiving Day Parade downtown. Also the Lions game at 1 o'clock. And, of course, Saturday, the big game, the only game that you can call the game in Ann Arbor. For all of that, you'll want to watch the roads. A lot of times people will switch over to their snow tires if they have them, keep them in storage, or they go out and buy some. So some people are doing that as well. Hey, we'll get through it together. We always do. We're live along I-75. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, with an indoor stadium, no excuse for Jared Goff or anybody else with the Lions. But for the rest of us, we may have a slight excuse in getting late to the places we're heading to. You know, the common sense stuff that we always talk about, we mention it, but then you hear about all these people who are following too closely, not taking into account the slick conditions. Just common sense, basic stuff.
Yeah, the tailgating situation seems to be a minor crisis, really, in the area. You see that all the time, and depending on what's going on with that car in front of you, it could be a very dangerous thing, so definitely don't do that.
All right, Dave Kinchin for us live tonight in the Weather Beast. Thanks for that. We'll talk to you soon. Now to a news alert out of Inkster tonight. Police are searching for a missing 19-month-old Kamilka Baiki, who was last seen with her mother. Police tell us her mom may be driving a black 2025 Ford Explorer. If you've seen Kamila or have any information, call Inkster Police right away. Detroit police working to learn who shot two teens dropped off at the 8th Precinct. We're told they were shot near Grand River and Lasser on the city's west side, then dropped off by a Good Samaritan. They were taken to the hospital, but police say the teens and others are all wanted in connection with an ongoing criminal investigation. So we continue to follow developing news out of Washington. Two National Guard members are in critical condition tonight, targeted in a shocking act of violence.
Suspect came around the corner, raised his arm with a firearm, and discharged it at the National Guard members.
Authorities say the troops were just blocks from the White House when the suspect came around the corner and immediately started shooting at them. The suspect was also shot and was hospitalized. Law enforcement sources have identified him as Ramanullah Lakhanwal. They're an Afghan national entering the U.S. in 2021, living in Washington state. A motive tonight? Unclear.
President Trump has been informed. We've been in contact with the White House. We will shortchange the American public with no resources to make sure we find and safeguard our nation's capital right here in Washington, D.C., and bring anyone responsible for this heinous act of violence to justice.
In response to the shooting, the Trump administration ordered 500 more National Guard members to Washington. In a social media post, President Trump said that the suspect will pay a very steep price. Also making headlines tonight, the bizarre disappearance of a pregnant Michigan woman taking another gruesome turn. Her body turns up in northern Michigan, but the status of her baby is unknown. Fox 2's Jessica Dupek is tracking this case that's getting coverage really across the country tonight. And Jess, for good reasons, where is this baby? Everyone's wondering.
Yeah, Rube, it's just an incredibly sad story at every turn. And who we're talking about is 22-year-old Rebecca Park. Her family says that she went missing about 3 weeks ago, and her body was found in a forest in northern Michigan in the Cadillac area last night. But the really tragic, even more tragic part of all of this is the location and condition of her baby is unknown at this time, and police are being incredibly quiet.
The young lady that was found resembles Rebecca Parks, a young lady that went missing on November 4th, and we are currently actively investigating that. That's a tragic time in our county, and hopefully this brings some closure to this awful incident.
So as we said, Rebecca's family confirms her body was found in the Manistee National Forest by searchers last night, not far from where she was last seen by her mother 21 days ago, 21 days earlier near Cadillac. That's up north, of course. Oddly, it's an area that had been searched before, but she was not there. Now in court a day later, her baby's father, Richard Fahler, and Rebecca's younger sister, Kimberly Park, they're facing charges unrelated to all of this. He's facing drug charges, and she's facing charges for tampering with evidence and lying to police. None of them charged with homicide. No one at this point, and that is likely to do with the fact that an autopsy hasn't been done. So we will continue to monitor that charging situation. I do understand that the victim's mother, she also had a polygraph test last night. Unclear the results of that polygraph. Now coming up on The Edge at 11, we'll take you inside the courtroom up in northern Michigan. For now, reporting live, Jessica Dupek, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, it seems like an unseemly question, but I do have to ask you, I assume that during the autopsy, they'll learn more about whether perhaps the baby was delivered or whether the baby wasn't.
That's absolutely right. And there's some pretty horrific speculation going on social media right now. Obviously, this case has caught a lot of eyes around the country. So I would caution as you go and Google search this case, proceed with caution.
Yeah, Jessica, we know you'll be on top of it. Jessica Dupnack for us live tonight. Thank you. Well, if your Thanksgiving get-togethers are awkward and you're considering skipping out on future holiday gatherings, just wait. Coming up, we have a few ideas on how to handle uncomfortable conversations, especially when it involves politics. We have a therapist in the house helping all of the families in Metro Detroit. It's a story you'll want to see next on Fox 2 News.